This is Sneaker Years. My name is Levi, and today I'm proud to bring you a list I've been working on for a while, and this is for 2019, and we're looking at the top 10 Widefoot, that's right, my Bigfoot brethren, top 10 Widefoot friendly basketball sneakers. So let's get right into it. Alright, a few disclaimers. All of these shoes I either own or I have owned and returned, or I've resold. The only pair I have not owned and officially worn is the Jordan CP3, so I guess that's kind of cheating already. That's one I have gone to the store and tried on 4 times, and it's something that I can definitely verify, but I can't tell you the actual performance other than what other people have said or have told me. But I am a size 12 wide. Generally a 12.5 fits me perfect, so I usually call my true size a 12.5. That half size variance usually gives me just enough space where I actually want that space, so that's just fine. I get a 13 in most of my shoes because, unlike maybe a lot of you folks out there who may be a size 9.5 or 10.5, a lot of shoes and specifically certain colorways are not even made in a 12.5. Half sizes stop at a size 12 more often than not. So obviously a few of my basketball hoopers out there are size 13.5. It gets even harder. 14.5 as well. So even if you have your perfect size, doesn't mean you're always able to get it. So most of my collection is a size 13. When I consider something wide foot friendly, it means I can go with my true size 12 and have width, which is great. So I have the length is spot on, the width is perfect. A 12.5, that half size isn't much of a big deal. And a 13, I'm used to having the extra length because to describe my foot, I have a wide midfoot, not a wide toe box. That does make a big difference. If you say you have a wide foot, a lot of manufacturers just think we all have the same size foot. It's not true. Same thing if you have a high instep. That's the height of your foot. Doesn't matter if you have a high arch or not. You can have a high arch instead of a low instep. Those are two different things. Sometimes they do go hand in hand, but a high instep is going to give you issues if you're trying to get your foot into a shoe and you find it's kind of restrictive. You can't quite get it in. That is what's considered your instep is giving you issues. I have a moderately high instep, so I can hopefully talk to a lot of my fellow hoopers out there who, one, have big feet, have wide feet, and overall may have trouble finding a size or a shoe that fits you right. So the goal of this video is to give you 10 options with a lot of variance on what you can get. So I didn't rank these on performance or what's best. I simply just gave the top 10 as well as the manufacturers they go with, and they're not necessarily in particular order, but I'm going to try to keep it by brand. So let's start out. Alright, so the two that didn't make the list, but I do want to put them on here just because I did have to get a size 13 and they do fit me amazing, so I gotta give them props. The new Nike Kyrie Choo Low. Got a size 13, which is what I am in pretty much every Kyrie, and the fit is absolutely fantastic. The way the side kind of plastic pieces allow it to form to your foot, plenty of space in the toe box. It's just a really nice fitting shoe. That's one I could say maybe if I could find a 12.5, but I've been really happy with the size 13. That again didn't make the list because I had to go to a 13, but it's a great fitting shoe where maybe you have to go up that half size, or you will have to go up half size. Another is the most recent Kobe AD NXT FF. If you're following the channel, I've had an initial review on that and a kind of a tech breakdown on that, and that shoe is, again, it's a Kobe, and because of the way it fits, if you have a high instep, folks have potentially had some issues. It is tight around the midfoot. Now I have a wider midfoot and a slightly high arch or high instep, and I still was able to get my foot in there, which is I think why I have to do a 13, because of the instep. So if you don't have a high instep, you may be able to go with your more true size. So in my case would be that 12.5, like I said. I feel there's plenty of space in the toe box. You have a wide toe box, it's super wide foot friendly. Now the folks who have had issues with the fit on the FF or the Kobe FF have, one, felt there's too much room in the toe box. which I understand. They feel like there's no containment in the forefoot, which there is because the way that fast fit system locks you down. Or if you have a wide midfoot or high instep, you may feel uncomfortable as if it's too tight. So it's something you just have to try on. For my specific foot, that has been one of my best fitting shoes this year so far. It's been unbelievable, and you're going to find a shoe like that and it works for you, whether it's Under Armour or Adidas or what have you. So with those two out of the way that are kind of wide foot friendly, but again, I did have to go up a half size and they do have caveats. That's why they're not officially on the list. So take that with a grain of salt, and hopefully you guys, if you do enjoy that, you can try it on. I will have full reviews on both of those coming shortly. Starting off with number 10, and again, this isn't necessarily a specific order, I just wanted to go through each brand, and that's the Anta Kt4. So Anta, there's only one shoe I've tried on for them, the Kt4. I know they do have the Rondo, and I think Kevin Garnett was with them, or he switched to And1, but the Kt4 with that full knit upper just fits amazing. I was able to go with my true size 12 with no issues. Now, it is a little bit tight in the toe, like I possibly could have done 12.5, but because of the knit, it's very reminiscent of a Lebron 15. If you go bigger, you lose some of the containment. So I'm happy I went with the 12. You can definitely go true to size, very wide foot friendly. Supposedly the reports are the Kt5 is using a similar knit. So again, that is a fairly wide foot friendly shoe. The closest shoe that compares it, I would say, would be something like your Harden Volume 3, where it feels almost like a Boost that's muted. So just like the Harden Volume 3, even though it's Boost, it's not necessarily bouncy. Same thing with the Kt4, you have court feel, you have decent impact protection. It's a nice middle of the road shoe. I really enjoy it, especially the traction, the fit. I have had some issues, and I'm debating if I'm going to do a full review or not. But if you have a wide foot, you're looking for something outdoor friendly, and you want to support the Splash Brother, the Anta Kt4 is a good option. All right, number 9 and number 8, and I guess if we are doing an order, we're going with the Under Armour brand now. Under Armour has actually been fairly wide foot friendly. So number 9 is the Anatomic Anomaly, whatever they want to call it, and those are actually two different shoes. So they have the Anatomics Low, before it was called the Anatomic Spawn, the original version, and they do have an Anomaly, which is kind of the mid-top version of it. But the Anatomics Low was very wide foot friendly. I was able to go with my true size 12. There is a little rubber piece at the toe. If you have a wide toe box, maybe it might get in the way, but it does move with your foot really well, so I would say you should be fine. The way the tongue laces on top there is a little weird, so if you have high instep, maybe you have some issues, but overall, really wide foot friendly. The traction that is beast. Here's another one. I will have a full Under Armour basketball review, so that's going to be in there as far as if you're looking for a full review on that. The next step up, number 8, is going to be your Under Armour Curry 6. This is one that is super wide foot friendly. The size 12 fits me unbelievable. Another one of those shoes that I just can't wait to wear. It is or has been my court feel shoe of the year. So if you're looking for something where you want to play quick, that shoe is amazing. Now the Under Armour brand as a whole, generally I'm able to go 12.5 and get a good size. So if you are a wide footer, even going up half size, you're able to get some decent shoes from the Under Armour line. Again, I'll have a full review on most of their basketball shoes coming up shortly. But the Curry 6, wide footers, go true to size, you're gonna enjoy it. That knit upper is beautiful. All right, so we're gonna go to 3-star camp with Adidas. So there is 3 shoes from Adidas, and we're gonna go kind of in order as far as I would rank it wide foot friendly. And so this is your number 7, 6, and 5. So number 7 is gonna be your Adidas Marquee. Now the version 2 is already coming out. I think they're calling it a different name already, so I'll have that listed here below in the video. But the Marquee, the midfoot, because it's kind of a stretch or circular knit, is amazing. If you have a high instep, no worries. The toe box possibly may have some issues because it's not as stretchy, but I was able to go with my true size 12 and get an amazing fit. For Adidas basketball, that was one of my, if not my favorite shoe of the year for them. It lacks support. I do have a full Adidas basketball breakdown for 2019. You can check that video out. But if you're wide footers, you want a little more cushion, but not too much, check out the Marquee, or I guess the new version coming out. Number 6 is going to be your Don Issue 1. This is one that is not only wide foot friendly, but also runs a little bit long. Now, I was able to go with my true size 12, and I have just a little bit of space in the front where it fits kind of like a 12 and a half. So this is definitely not a narrow footer kind of shoe. If you have a high instep, no worries, regular tongue. If you have a wide toe box, you have plenty of space. If you have a wide midfoot like myself, I did have some issues initially. I did have to break them in. Also, the factory insole that comes with them pretty much sucks. This is one that you could use our velocity cushion. The velocity cushion works in there just perfect, where it made it super comfortable, but I was getting hot spots. And that's because it was literally probably 1 millimeter too high. I put in another insole in there, and I think it was one from Under Armour that was actually an old school micro G insole, and it made all the difference in the world. The fit was spot on. Comfort for me as a bigger guy was just right. Here's another one where I'll probably have a full review on that coming out shortly. But if you're looking for a court feel based shoe and you are a wide footer, now this is also going to be quite a bit heavier than what we're getting from Under Armour, which are also court feel based shoes. Now, if you're want something court feel based, but you feel you need a little bit more cushion for those times, check out our velocity cushion insoles. It's something that really gives one shoe dual purpose, where you can get a max cushion in a court feel based shoe. So both the Curry 6 and the Under Armour Anatomics, and while we're at it, even the 3.0 series from Under Armour work really well with our velocity insoles and turning those into high cushion options. So if you find a fit that you like, you can add cushion. So take that cushion as secondary. Let's get the best fit. So going back to the Don issue 1, as far as the fit on that, right out of the box, if you're happy with the cushion, those are going to fit wide footers really nicely. It's also a very heavy shoe, so if you want something more stable, a lot of support, nice option. Number 5, and this is a super wide foot friendly and along the same lines as the Don 1, and that's your T-Mac Millennium. Now, hopefully T-Mac Millennium 2 makes it a little bit lighter, but it is a decently heavy shoe. It is a shoe that runs at least a half size, if not a full size big. This is one of the only shoes on this list I could have done 11 and a half, and I think I would have been fine. Went with the 12 and it still felt big. Very big wide foot friendly as far as your toe box, your midfoot, and your instep. If you have a wide foot or abnormally shaped foot anyway, the T-Mac is an awesome shoe. Maybe this should be higher on the list, but like I said, I'm not really going numerically. I just wanted to group these together. So even though that's number 5, don't think of it as ranked number 5. This is the most cushioned shoe, and this is probably the widest shoe on the list, and that's your T-Mac Millennium. All right, number 4 and 3, we're gonna go back to Nike. So like I said, the two that didn't quite make the list were your Kyrie 2 Low, which is a court feel based shoe but decent amount of cushion, the Kobe FF, which is a really well balanced shoe. The next two are going to be very high cushion options, and your number 4 is going to be your Nike Alpha Dunk. Very wide foot friendly, but you know what, even the narrow footers from the guys I've talked to have had a somewhat of a tight fit, and that's because it's a knit upper. It's going to stretch, it's going to fit you. This is a super heavy, flat, very unbending shoe. It's not very flexible at all, but I know there's a few hoopers out there, actually quite a bit, who enjoy that sense of stability and just having a stable platform. So number 4 is that one. Number 3, which is, I think, it's just a much better shoe, at least for me. It doesn't mean it's for you just because it is segmented, and that's going to be your LeBron 16. Now, the LeBron series, the last few years has been very wide foot friendly, from the 15, the 16, and even the 17 coming out, and I'm gonna give a lot of credit that to the knit upper. So whether you're gonna get a high, you're gonna get a low, you're gonna get last year's, or even the new one coming out, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be a wide foot friendly shoe. I can go with my true size 12. Some folks have said go down half a size because it fits a little bit large. I have a little bit of space, so I could see that. I can understand it because it does fit me kind of like a 12 and a half in some shoes, but it fits wide footers, toe box, midfoot. If you have a high instep, it's a little harder to get on if you get the 15. The 16 I think is just right, and we'll find out how the 17 is. I'll have a full review on that coming out soon, but that's going to be a max cushion, max traction, very wide foot friendly option. Number 3, LeBron 16. Wrapping up, number 2 and number 1 are going to be And again, this is another one with a caveat. Your Jordan 33 SE, the low, guys, fits way different than your high. Now, this is a shoe, if you have a high instep, you possibly will have issues. I originally got a 13 on this shoe just because my foot wouldn't get into a 12.5 in the store. I played with it for about 2 weeks. Unfortunately, thank you, Nike Town, I was able to go back because once it broke in, it just felt it was too much space. Went back to the 12.5, and the first few wears was really hard to get my foot in just because of my higher instep. Once my foot was in there, though, it's just really nice and friendly as far as the materials. If you have a wide midfoot, it fits me great. Wide toe box, much better fitting than in the 33 high, which was just really tight. And the Jordan series has been a bit tight as of late with the 32 and the 33. Hopefully the 34 fits a little bit better. I want to get that as soon as it comes in. Another caveat to that is also going to be, so that's a 12.5. I could not get a 12. That would not fit my foot, so maybe that should have been on the fringe. But your Jordan Why Not 2 is kind of the same thing. 12.5 fits me unbelievable. Couldn't do a 12, so I won't tell you, hey, these are wide foot friendly, go and get them. These are two shoes you have to do a half size up. Snuck one in there though. Number one, and this is not because it's the best option, but just finishing the list, is your Jordan CP3 that I alluded to in the beginning of the video. The Jordan CP3 is a full knit upper. It does have some, it's probably fake, but raw materials on the medial side. But because of that, I was actually able to even squeeze my foot into 11.5. Now, I think a 12 is going to fit much better, but it gives you an idea. It is a really nice form-fitting shoe. That knit upper just works super well. For $100, that's going to be on another top 5 list coming out very soon. It is one I have my eye on. I'm just trying to get a good deal on it. I don't know if you guys have a pair you want to send my way, I would love to review it. It is a very basic but super well done shoe with herringbone, knit upper. I like the leather options on some of those that they have. So your Jordan CP3 wraps up the list for a wide foot friendly option. And this is one that is not a max cushion or true court feel. It's a little bit more balanced just because of the foam they use, and you can definitely feel the zoom in the forefoot. And again, this is one that you guys have probably done this as sneakerheads and fellow basketball players. You go to the store and you probably try the same shoe on quite a few times when you like it, meaning I probably should just get it because it's been about 4 times. So obviously I don't have a full review. This is one I have communicated to with people who have owned it and asked them questions. So I have gotten nothing but really positive reviews on it, and especially for the prices you can get them at now. All right, guys, girls, if your favorite shoe is not on this list, it doesn't mean it's not wide foot friendly. It just means you probably have to go up that half size or even a full size. Now, I'm used to it. A lot of my collection is a 13, but depending who you are, I know a lot of players who just don't like to do that. They feel it's a sloppy fit. They don't get the lockdown they want. Because of my higher instep and wide midfoot, I'm able to get a nice lockdown on my midfoot, even if a shoe is a little bit long. So that makes my foot a little bit different, just like your foot is going to be a little bit different than everyone else. And it's awesome to see wide footers from women who are size 8 or 7 and men who are 100 pounds lighter than me and they're a wide footer size 10. You can be a wide foot of any shape, size, player, male or female, and for whatever reason, unlike the running world, the basketball world really hasn't caught on. So you really do have to find that certain shoe that fits you best. Hopefully this list gives you a kind of a heads up on shoes to look for that might work for you. I hope there's a lot of questions. Put it down in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer them and help you guys out as best as I can. Again, if you are a wide footer and you need a little more cushion, a lot of these shoes on this list who are court feel based, your Don 1s, your CP3s, your Under Armours, our Velocity cushion does a great job as far as giving you that added cushion. And especially if you're able to find a shoe that fits you, it makes all the difference in the world. That's how I feel most recently on our Kobe FF, where it just fits me great. So obviously I've been more biased than not. And guys, just because a shoe fits you great and it moves with you, that's not the same thing as the comfort of a shoe or the cushion of a shoe. So make sure you take care of the cushion, the impact that's coming on your body. You're getting the right shoe for you. But fit is the most important thing. So having a shoe that fits you and is wide foot friendly. This video, a lot of work went into it where I own all these shoes. I put in time into all these shoes. And if you notice, I don't have them with me. They're not behind me because this is a 13 shoe list. I really didn't want to get all of them out. But if you guys want me to post them on Instagram, if you want any proof of it, call me out. I'm happy to oblige. I do have all of them. I do put the work in, and hopefully that work is appreciated. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up. It's really appreciated, guys. Subscribe to the channel below. Hit that little bell for new videos coming out. If you have any questions, suggestions, throw them in the comments. I do read and go through all of them. As always, this is Levi with Sneaker Ears. I really appreciate you, and I'll come back at you later.